Hello everybody.
Hello everybody else.
My name is Darren.
Mine's Graham.
And we have, we're going to be talking about Brick, the film Brick.
Yes, the film is Brick.
Tell us about the film Brick, Graham. What is it about?
Murder, chaos, crazy conspiracies and lies telling to different people and then double crossing and femme fatale. Oh, it's a hive of villainy and
To be fair, that's probably one of the most accurate plot descriptions you've ever given.
and shortest.
Yeah, it really is.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is in my top 10 films of all time.
It's directed by
Rian Johnson.
and it stars.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Is this a quiz? Or am I just interrupting you?
I've lost track.
It stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
It was the videographer was
The videographer, what the fuck does that even mean?
cinematographer.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Who did the music, the score?
Rian Johnson's cousin. I don't remember his name.
Billy.
Nathan Johnson?
Nathan. That rings a bell.
Maybe.
Literally, if he did the score.
Oh, we got that silence.
There's nobody else to cheer. If there was
Why
other
would anyone
people.
cheer? Nathan Johnson.
No, for my joke.
Yeah, that people generally cheer when they enjoy a joke. They don't laugh, they cheer. They whoop and holler.
It was a knee slapper.
Wasn't it? A niece slapper. That's against women. I need to slap nephews as well.
It's been a long night, viewers of the world, folks, friends and kinsmen.
Is Brick in your top 10 films of all time?
Brick is probably up there in the top films of all time.
Well,
for me.
yeah.
I haven't whittled it down to 10 films.
Get
10
a life.
titles.
You haven't got down to your top 10 films? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
You haven't lived, mate. You
I
haven't enjoyed an afternoon until you've sat down and you've listed every film you can think of and then ranked it in order.
It's full of sequels, I think.
What's full of sequels?
My top 10.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What, you mean you've got like just 6 Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies and stuff like that?
Well, you got The Matrix 2.
The Matrix 2 is in your top 10 films of all time.
Spider-Man 3.
Oh, you're talking shit, I realise now.
What was the first one I said?
Matrix 2.
Matrix
You
2
said
is
two
amazing.
films.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm tired. The Matrix 2. What's that one?
Bollocks.
Reloaded is amazing.
It's not.
It's amazing.
Why is it amazing?
It's all a bit dated now, but it's
The first one's
really
not.
it's really fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yes, it does.
And-
It's up its own arse, like 1,000 miles up its own arse. That's how far up its own arse it is.
Like 1,000 miles, man! Oh my
That's the biggest number I
god!
could think of. 1,000 miles up its own massive arse.
But Brick.
Yeah, Brick's good. Did you know? I'm gonna smack you with a fact now.
Smack you with a fact.
Do you know the principal in it?
The principal, like what? Like
In
the rule, like
the headmaster of the school.
oh,
in Brick.
right, okay,
Do
the
you
American.
know who he plays? Do you know who the
Who
actor?
does the principal play?
It's Shaft. It's the guy. The principal is
Oh,
Shaft.
You slapped me with a Shaft fact.
Oh. I've got some Shaft facts if you want some of them. Mostly numbers and inches.
I thought you said Shaft facts, and then you talking about numbers, and I thought you were going to fax me something about Shaft. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's Shaft.
Yeah. The
That's-
guy that is the guy is his principal is Shaft.
Right.
From the Shaft film.
And
From the film Shaft.
the series. Oh, was that Snoop Dogg?
What are you talking about?
He was in a series, wasn't he?
No.
Shaft had a series.
I don't think he did.
I think somebody did.
Well, I'm sure that's true. Anyway, so, yeah. What do you think about Rian Johnson, the director of Brick, doing Star Wars, Graham?
He's doing Star Wars.
He bloody is and all. Episode 8, and he's writing Episode 9.
He's writing and directing
Episode 8, yeah.
different.
He's writing, directing
roles
Episode 8,
for
and as of
different
now,
films.
he's just writing Episode 9.
That's wonderful news.
Oh, isn't it? Except,
I think.
oh, go on.
I was going to say, I think people might get confused.
Why would they get confused?
Well, if one film, because
Is
he often does really quite. Bless you. He often does.
You did that before. It's still funny.
I think he often does like really quite intellectual films, but if he
But why
applies
can't-
that to Star Wars,
Yeah.
it might confuse and
I
befuddle
think it's
people.
good for Star Wars that they've got somebody as good as him involved, But I like the idea of him just doing original movies. Because obviously, if he's
Yeah,
doing a sequel,
yeah.
he's got to kind of fit in with the look and the feel and the
Wasn't this
world of Star Wars.
Isn't this the Ant-Man dilemma?
Well, sort of, but I think that Edgar Wright in Ant-Man could have done an Edgar Wright movie. You know, with his style.
Well, I think he was on his way for that, wasn't he? That was the goal all along, and then all of a sudden Marvel was just like, no.
I think it was a mutual thing from what I hear. That
Yeah,
they always had
that's
one
what you
idea and
hear.
he always had another, and then eventually it got to a point where neither of them were budging.
Mm.
But
People don't budge when it comes to the budget for the film.
I don't think they're arguing over the budget. You just saying words that start with budge.
You helped a rhyme formulate in my head, and I was trying to.
You didn't go to budgie.
I was trying to. Didn't even think of that.
Think for the opposite possibilities. So yeah, Brick is really good. Brick is one of my favourite films. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is really good in Brick. I saw him in that before I really knew who he was. Yeah, that's all I have to say on the matter. Oh, and I also like Brick because every time I watch it, I've forgotten what happens because it's so complicated. I remember roughly like, oh, that person dies or that person doesn't die or whatever. But in terms of who's doing what to who and why, I don't fucking know. Forget. Literally, I can forget within about 5 minutes of watching it.
Budget and budgie.
You still thinking about that?
Well, I was, but you've just distracted me now.
I'm sorry. The other thing I like about Brick is that it's set in a high school and yet everyone has like these big adult dramas going on. And that's what it felt like when you were that age. You know, you didn't think, I'm an 18-year-old with 18-year-old problems. You just thought, I'm an 18-year-old with human problems.
Yeah.
Adults have.
Good. I think that's reflected as well, like in the scene with Shaft. He goes into the principal's office, and like he's kind of like being really adult with Shaft. But
you've ever been adult with Shaft.
Stop it, you. And it's really just interesting how they kind of communicate to each other, sort of thing. Like they both take each other quite seriously and stuff. But then later on in the film, they're sitting in Pin's mum's house, and she's bringing them like orange juice and stuff like that. And
I don't know if I like that bit. I think it breaks it for me. I know they're kids, but when she starts offering them orange juice, it becomes a bit Bugsy Malone for me. Like they clearly are kids. Like
but I mean, they always were kids. It's like nobody's beating around the bush.
It's almost set in a world where they're not, even though they are. Like
they are.
They don't,
school,
but then that kind of acknowledges they are. But I know they are. I can see they are.
Yeah. The fact that they're at school and it's about, you know...
And they're cutting classes and they're leaving little notes to each
exactly.
other in their lockers.
Yeah.
They're also fucking chasing each other with knives. Maybe that is school these days. I don't know. I've been in school for a while. Maybe every kid carries a knife.
Probably do.
Yeah. The ones that carry them to kill people, carry them to kill people, and everyone else has to carry them for self-defense. If you don't take a knife to school, kids, then fucking more fool you.
Yeah, you're just asking for it.
I think that's a message that we should send out there.
You sent it, I didn't.
I said it with irony. If you didn't get the irony, then more fool you.
Yeah. So Brick sends positive, messages about school.
Does it?
Protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tool up to the tits, motherfucker, or you're gonna die.
Don't get embroiled in,
in conspiracies involving dead girls and drug smuggling.
Yeah. If the principal of the school asks you to start, grassing up on your mates and stuff.
Yeah.
And you start kind of...
You keep stum.
You
don't snitch on people.
Yeah.
That's rule number one.
Because you'll become leverage for some other bigger game.
Get a good old fucking stabbing, that's what'll happen.
Yeah,
good old stabbing in the fucking chest.
Well, somebody will cut the grass. We'll see.
Yeah, they will. And they'd be right to.
Yeah, they will be.
But yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The language is the main kind of thing that you'll kind of notice about it, and the fast pace as well.
The way he talks really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. The language is very old gumshoey type thing, like Dashiell Hammett and who's the other writer, Raymond Chandler. Like those kinds of things, like Miller's Crossing, borrowed from those kinds of books as well, and had its own kind of language where you need to sort of look at a little glossary of all the words beforehand, like tug and pin. Do you ever associate the words tug and pin
with anything?
Yeah.
Tug and pin. They sound like...
The time is up. We'll never know what your subconscious would have come up with.
We're cut down to the ground, down to Chinatown.
That's noirish type of film, Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson.
See how well constructed and scripted these things are? Everything just flows through into the next thing.
Yeah, like a fucking sewer. Just shit non-stop.
A storm drain where somebody might have been murdered.
Maybe.
Under a bridge, perhaps.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my gosh.
Let's turn this camera off and say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Bye bye everyone.
Good night.